With us now is the Organized Guy. That's the name of his company, but he's also true to form. His name is Vinny, and we welcome him back to the set of Live It Up. Hello, how have you been? Good?
I'm doing great, Donna. How you doing?
Good. What is the biggest complaint that your clients have? When they call you, they say what to you? How do you know that you can help them?
The biggest complaint is always that they feel overwhelmed by their circumstances, that they just don't know what to do because they've just got all kinds of clutter.
Okay. And what's the worst house you've ever seen?
You know what? It's a great question.
You don't have to name names or anything.
No. There's no names. I protect the innocent. Every client that I work with, it's their perception. So by that I mean that everybody I speak to, they always think that whatever I'm walking into for them, it's the worst that I'm ever gonna see, and that's not really true.
Okay. But somebody's got to be the worst. Was there one situation where you couldn't even open the door, like you tried to?
There
open
was
the door?
one that I came into about 6 months ago, and he was a true hoarder.
Okay.
It was just like the show: mattress in the living room on top of the junk, kitchen didn't work, appliances turned off. Yeah, that was the worst one. I ended up not working with him just because he had a number of other issues, but that was definitely the worst one.
Yeah, sometimes if somebody is mentally ill and they become a hoarder, there's certain people you can't help. But for the majority of us, you're able to help people.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so what are some organizing tips? Like if somebody's not at that point where they have to hire a professional, what can they do for themselves?
Well, I think probably the most important thing that they can do is that break the project down. That's the biggest reason why a lot of people are stuck with not being able to get things done, is because they just look at everything at once. Break it down by room, break it down by, if there's an area within the room, make a schedule. That certainly helps. Don't try to tackle it all in one weekend. Do a little bit at a time. Schedule yourself.
Okay, so little by little. Okay, what about, some of the things I'd like to do is I take a room, and I know you've seen me do this, and I rope it off, I grid it out. I'm like, okay, from 2 to 4, I'm gonna do this section. From 4 to 6, I'm gonna do this section. I also tend to clean where I start in one corner, and I make the rest of the house a mess, and I just kind of work my way through, But I guess there's different ways that different people like to be organized.
And that's another great point, because that's the same thing is true. Every client I work with, they all work a little bit differently. And what I tend to do with all of them is that I flex to how they feel comfortable. So at the end of the process, we still get the job done. We may get it done in a couple different ways, but you know what? Really what's important is understanding, what do they want? What's the goal? And I set that up during the consultation. What do they want as the end result of the project? And then we figure out, how does it work for them to get there?
And when we work together, I needed quick results.
Yes.
I needed like a quick turnaround. And for me, I'll have a party, which will motivate me to clean, but I had gone through the loss of a spouse. I went through a major house flood. I had a storage unit. I had all these situations where I had to leave my house that I sold quickly, and people were throwing stuff in boxes just to help me get out quickly. But then when I brought it back into my house, I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't want to live here. I don't want to live with this clutter and this mess and all these crazy boxes.
Right.
I said, I need your help. I need it quick, but I need you to be quick about it. So are you able to turn results on in a dime?
Yeah, I can do it.
Can, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, I temper it to, it all comes out in the consultation. Those are the kind of conversations and questions that I'm going to have for my clients up front. When do you want to get it done? How fast do you? I work at your pace. Pure and simple. If you want to take your time and read through every piece of paper, you didn't.
I don't read through every piece of paper, no.
But you did a great job, though. But I have clients that want to look at everything, and I will work and wait at their pace. I'll remind them that we are on the clock, but it's still really up to their choice.
And with technology nowadays, isn't it just as easy to just take a digital picture of something that's important to you, that has important information, but then you can just toss the paper, and you can make digital archives for yourself?
And I encourage them to do that with that as well. So this way they'll say, well, I really need to keep this, but they may have 25 versions of it. Well, you don't need 25 versions. Let's take the ones that are most important, keep those, and you can take pictures of the rest and archive them. Absolutely.
I also liked your tip about security blankets. Take a swatch of that blanket, throw the blanket away, and keep the little piece of it.
Right.
Or if you're not going to wash it and donate it, but it's sentimental and it's not good enough to keep anymore, there's ways to keep scrapbooks. There's ways to keep memorabilia together.
Right. Absolutely.
And what about collections? I know that you've had some people that have had these wonderful, somebody had glassware, a lot of glassware. Do you help them in terms of saying, well, hey, you might want to sell this or market this?
Yeah, I'm always going to make those suggestions. And it's interesting because, again, all those conversations tend to be different. In some cases, it's unfortunate, but people have collections that at the time did have value. But in today's market, they really don't have that value anymore. So they really have a choice at that point. Do you just want to hold on to it because it's a memory, it's something that you want to hold on for yourself or your family, or just accept that, you know, you're going to get rid of it and maybe you'll just get back the retail value what you paid for it, but you still have to make a decision on it. But in any case, regardless of what they have, I always have the resources to turn to find out what's the value of those possessions and what they want to do with them.
Like 1970s beer can collection, you could squash it and just get rid of and get some money for the aluminum, but nobody's going to really buy your beer can collection.
Right. I don't think so. That's good for, you know, the old college days.
Yeah, the old college days. And what's on the horizon for you? What's coming up next?
I'm definitely looking at some new areas that I want to help, particularly seniors is an emerging market. I've dealt with a lot of clients, different age groups, different economic situations, different places, you know, geographically on the island, but I see the same common issues. But definitely with seniors who I've worked with, they're folks that they're a whole group unto themselves. They really need a lot of help.
Well, you have such a respectful personality. That's one of the things I've always liked about you. I know you've got a big scouting background, and you know you've got a lot of business expertise, and you're just a warm, caring, kind individual.
Thank you.
So if my parents were still here and if they needed help, I would definitely refer them to you.
I tend to treat my elderly clients as my grandparents.
You do. You treat everybody really nicely. So I appreciate all the help that you've given to me and my family, especially with, like I said, the death of a husband and floods. Everybody's got challenges, but you helped me be able to get through that quickly, so that I could get on with my life and do things that I need to do with my own time. So thank you very much.
And you were always a lot of fun to work with.
And we found everything I was looking for, right? I was looking for my mother's Christmas apron. I was looking for an appraisal. I was looking for a couple of other things. And you're like, oh, there it is.
And it's all in there.
It's all in there.
Great.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Donna.
Okay. Stay tuned for more. If you need some help, you might want to call the organized guy. We give you a few tips today. But if you need more than just a few tips and you really need his help, I endorse him 100%. Thanks for watching.